What's up, everybody? It's CMP with Craftmaster Productions and Studio1Tutorials.com. Don't forget to stop by Studio One Tutorials and pick up your premium membership. It is 50 cents a day. And don't forget to stop by Studio One Tutorials. If you're already a member, go ahead and hit the download button and get yourself the Astro World MIDI drums fresh out the Dropbox, transcribed directly from the album. You guys who are going after that sound, or want to incorporate something like that into your own productions, it is a very helpful tool to analyze those drum arrangements. Now, today I wanted to just touch on a subject that just kind of something that I see in discussions that just kind of irritates me, man. And it's these I personally, if you guys have been following me for a while, maybe you picked up, like, I'm not like a black or white type of person. I am like a strictly all gray type of person. There is I don't like necessarily dealing in absolutes. It's especially when it comes to music. So the whole like concept behind people with the mentality of no free beats, I think is I don't think it's really helpful for up and coming producers. And I know that you'll see you'll see folks mimicking this this sentiment, and you're on to come up with your 12 subscribers, and you want to put out your own content, and you're like, yo, I look up to them, so I'm gonna mimic this tagline. And I'm here to tell you right now that being a no free beat douchebag is not gonna help you out in any type of situations. Now, I understand that a lot of you guys don't have the benefit of living in an area where you can just get time at a major studio, set up in the B room, cook up, meet people, forge relationships. It's not that easy. So you guys are working remotely online. For the first part of what I'm about to talk to, this is going to come from basic one-on-one interactions and relationships for you guys that actually go out and meet people. Not everybody who creates music has a music budget. On top of that, not everybody who creates music is necessarily serious about creating music. And one of the reasons why I've given out free beats in the past, and I've given out a lot, one of the reasons why I've given out free beats in the past is because I can test who's serious and who's not. Now, I was not always a producer. I spent probably like the first maybe like 10 years of my musical journey trying to be a rapper. And back when I was doing it, free beats was definitely not a thing coming up to strangers. There just wasn't a lot of producers. The price point to get into the production game was like about $3,000 to do it correctly. So there wasn't a you was just known that you were going to have to contribute something, unless you found somebody who really fucked with you. Now that the tables are turned, there's so many producers out there. There's so many producers who are willing to work for free, and not in the respect that I'm talking about here. So I just want to kind of differentiate the two. There's giving a beat away for free, right? Where it's like, say for example, there's a rapper, I don't know, let's just call him Young Boom Boom, right? Young Boom Boom has a SoundCloud that's blowing up, and he's about to, it looks like he's about to be next, and he sends out that tweet. Young Boom Boom's got 125,000 followers, and he sends that tweet, in the studio now, send fire this way. Okay, that is straight duck shit. You know what I mean? Like, if you're sending free beats to Young Boom Boom, like he obviously is doing shows, he's popular, you should be getting paid off of that. That should not be something where you are just you're just hoping that your tag is going to make you the next producer. Now the next super producer. Now as far as as far as like working with locals, man, you should definitely consider giving out free music. And here's why. If you're looking for somebody to build a sound with, it's going to be hard to tell who's serious and who's not about creating a sound. If you're just selling them beats one by one. Artists typically like to sit with a collection anywhere between 5 and 13 beats, and then out of that they might ride on 2 or 3 of them. You know what I mean? So it's a good way to figure out, first of all, who's serious or not. Like, do you really like doing this shit? Whenever I meet a jit or just anybody that I'm interested in working with, that I'm like excited, like, whoa, I want to get your voice on my stuff. Instantly what I'll do is I'll have a couple of these folders in my Dropbox, and with different vibes. And what I'll do is I have the Dropbox sync to my phone, and we'll meet in the studio. I'll be like, oh, what's your email? My email is youngflymcgee at Hotmail. So I'll type that in, share the folder, and I'll be like, bro, I just sent you 20 beats. I'll be like, what? I'll be like, yeah, I just sent you 20 beats. You talking about you want to work. I sent you a 20 pack, and that's you'll really find out a lot about an artist after sending them a 20 pack. Because if you send an artist a 20 pack and they don't come back to you with no songs in a week, and I'm assuming that you're a good producer, that it's not going to be a problem with your music. If you got good music and you send the artist a 20 pack, then there's something wrong with them. They're not working. There's never been there was never been a time when I was working as an artist, and I knew a lot of artists during this time, where we would come up on a new producer and they would give us 20 beats, and those beats didn't get murdered in 2 weeks. You'd be freestyling them on them all the time. You'd be rapping over them. So this is a good way for you to kind of find out who's gonna be real and who's not. Now the first thing comes up, you guys, everybody is, oh, what happens if somebody steals my beat, man? Would somebody steal my beautiful beat? Like, dude, relax, okay? The thing about getting your beat stolen is you're either going to get stolen on or you're not, bro. People are either going to do good business or bad business with you. And the best way to protect yourself against, you getting your beat stolen is to work with people who do good business. And there's no way that you can figure out who does good business and who doesn't do good business until you actually get out and start doing business with people. So another reason why giving free beats out in a one-on-one environment is because typically, and this is again going back to the studio, like whenever I want to meet a new crop of artists or try to get some more sales, or try to make placements or anything, what I'll do is I'll go to Miami, I'll pull up at Mix Masters. Or if I'm feeling like a baller, get the B room at Circle House or something, and just sit there with my dog and cook up in the B room with the door open. Watch the flow of everything, see if we could catch somebody, see if people are smoking outside, go outside, smoke outside, talk, hey, this is who I am, just try to talk to everybody. If you get into a situation where everybody's in the studio and it's 3:00 in the morning, everybody's drinking, smoking, feeling creative, they just completed this one great song and now they're looking for that next beat. If you go in there and everybody starts vibing and they get the hook down, and then you start talking that, oh, okay, well, does anybody have the writer split sheet? I got one right here. We could go, like, I literally met a producer who carried split sheets in his backpack. But yeah, that's a complete vibe kill. You know what I mean? In a studio environment, the vibe is for is for creation. So you're not gonna want to throw a hard drive away at this situation, but you're also not going to want to stand in the corner and be like, nah dog, I don't give no free beats, bro. I see y'all, I see y'all got a pound of weed here, you know what I mean? Y'all could give me $200 for the exclusive. That's what I would sell it for online. Like, no bro, nobody's gonna fuck with you, you know what I mean? Artists, rappers, singers are very fucking sensitive people, and they're looking for people who support them and who are genuinely interested in their growth as an artist. And this is where this no free beat shit just fucking kills everything, because you come off like a douchebag when this guy is set here, especially if you're in the studio, you're working in the B room and they go to the A room. This person's paying for the A room, they're serious about their craft. They probably put whatever budget they had into that nice room, and you're gonna come up in there and try to beat him in the head for another $500, bro. That's gonna potentially piss off the studio owner, because their manager is gonna go to the studio owner and be like, yo, who's this clown coming in trying to jux us for $500 real quick, like like that shit can go really sideways for you. A better outcome is you go in there, you work on the song, right? If it's just artists in there, don't fucking worry. Don't worry about no business. But if there's somebody in the corner who does not seem drunk and who does not seem high and is on their phone texting a lot, that's probably the manager. So maybe you want to go talk to him about like, hey, I'm really enjoy what you guys are doing, what you're putting together. I like the song and the way everything's coming out. I don't want to ruin the energy or anything, but I would like to do some business with you guys if if you're open to it. And then that person is going to tell you exactly what the situation is. And then once you know what the situation is, you can then make the decision where you could say, okay, this situation is, me putting in some sweat equity into this project, or you can assess the situation and be like, this is something where I'm either going to get paid or I'm going to walk. All right. I'll give you an example. Right. So I had a situation where my buddy hooked me up with a director that was putting together an independent movie, and he wanted me to score some scenes. They had like some weekend songs in there that they didn't want to pay to clear. So they're just like, yo, we just need instrumental or something that was like that vibe or whatever. Boom. And I did it. I put it down, I put it down. I killed it. There was another rock scene that they wanted done. I did like 3 scenes to this movie. Now I'm looking at this movie, right? And I'm looking at this movie. I'm like, yo, this movie is terrible, bro. This movie is terrible. There is no way that this movie is going to Netflix, because in the original, he's like, yo, maybe you work on it, and you get the money on the back end. But the way that this gentleman spoke, I could tell that he did not really have any that he was just saying that, he didn't really have any experience with paying people on the back end. Come to find out, it was his first movie. So I approached him like this. I was like, yo, man, I'm really concerned about the sound of all this, He's like, no, your mixes sound great. I'm like, nah, they really don't, like you've got me up against these, all these different songs, and they're platinum ass songs, I think we should, I know a studio I could go to, I could get these songs mixed real quick, and obviously this dude's shooting a movie. He has a budget, and I'm like, why don't we just, why don't you just give me a mixing budget so I could go get them mixed? And really, I was finna beat him in the head, it's my money. But this is how I wanted to see like where he was at as far as paying. And then after that, I'd never heard from him again. And I knew that conversation could have the potential to kind of to kind of skew that relationship, or completely exit out. And I knew I was running the risk of doing that, but I was comfortable with it because I was like, you know what, bro, like this isn't fucking Francis Ford Coppola, bro, like, and there ain't gonna be no money on the back end. And I put 60 hours into these fucking 3 syncs with with my boy. They were like the hardest thing I had ever done before, because I had never done it before. And it was worth it because because I was like, yo, this guy's just gonna do whatever he does with his movies. He's gonna come to me again with more work, and I'm gonna be the free beat guy, in his opinion. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to set that relationship correctly. Whereas on the other hand, with rappers that I don't know that I know that don't have any budget, but I like their energy, and I like their, and I see, I see that they're excited about music. I don't have a problem giving you a free beat. I have a problem giving you 7 free beats. You know what I mean? Let's see what you do, because if I give you 7 free beats and you don't turn me back 7, and you don't turn me back 7 songs, you don't turn me back 2 songs, I'm not worried about you stealing my beats, because you don't even care enough about your music to get to the point where you're even thinking about stealing the beat. You know what I mean? Like, you don't care enough about your music to even get it out there right. So yeah, when you're one-on-one, typically the levels of like the whole no free beat shit, the free beat is like the most powerful tool that you have to figure out who is who. Because again, people are either going to do bad business or they're going to do good business, and you're not going to understand who you're dealing with until you have some type of exchange with them, right? I mean, dude, I had another TV situation where this guy, he was one of the Latin TVs. I don't know. They were going to do a cooking show, and they had a real budget. And, my buddy came to me with the work, and I was like, it's going to be a weekly thing. And I'm like, dude, this is going to be a fucking weekly thing. We're going to have to turn this in every fucking week. It's going to have to be on point. He's like, yeah, we'll just do it through Splice. I'm like, yeah, I know we could just do it through Splice, dude, but it's still going to be a mission. You don't know how to mix. Yeah, I'm going to have to mix everything, dude. It's going to take time. I want $1,000 a week to mix that shit, dude. It's a TV show. You should ask for $1,000 a week to create. And he went back and asked him for it. And Buddy was like, oh no, there's 1,000 producers out. So it's like, all right, fine, go and do it. They never wound up being able to create the show because they didn't have any music, and it all fell apart because even though this guy was a wealthy gentleman, he felt like he could get, I guess in his regular business, he had got a whole bunch of stuff for free. So he felt like he could get, all of us to work for free in order to get his idea off the ground. And through testing him like this, we got to realize like, yo, like that's why that's why we didn't want to do anything for free. But that is, again, that's a situation with somebody who has a budget, you know what I'm saying, who doesn't necessarily want to pay you. When you're working, when you're trying to deal with up and coming artists who may not have that budget, it's a whole different conversation. That's why you do give them the free beat and you get to see how they act. Now, as far as the online game is concerned, free beats are just an amazing tool, and they're slept on. And there is so much, there's just so much in the producer community conversation about, I think what fucks people up is, first of all, to be any type of musical artist, like seriously, like you have to be some level of delusional, and especially like you young guys who you know swear you're finna be Metro Boomin, like you're delusional. But that's the thing, that's the double-edged sword, is you have to be delusional in order to get it. You know what I'm saying? You have to put yourself in a delusional state. The only thing is it doesn't work for everybody. It doesn't. And what it does to your thinking is, when you're in this delusional state where you're automatically putting yourself at the same level as a Metro or someone like that, you instantly think that their habits should be your habits with anything, when what you don't know is how their come up occurred. You know what I mean? So, you know, someone like Metro or anybody who's popping right now, they can have this stance like, yeah, I don't do free work, you know, obviously because I'm a professional. But a lot of the careers in audio and music period starts out with you doing free work. How do you get into a studio? You intern. How do you get into it, or even if you guys are in college, if you want to work in finance, you have to intern. If you want to work in law, you have to intern. If you want to work in communications and radio and TV, you have to intern. So this idea that you know, you're a producer, you downloaded FL Studio, you cracked Omnisphere, and and everybody's got to pay you for everything that you do because you're a young genius who can click in notes on a piano roll, is fucked up, man. You know, that's and that's not to say that I don't do the same things, but the difference between someone like me and someone who I'm explaining is they have no self-awareness. You know what I mean? They're putting themselves on this pedestal because they're delusional. Online free beats are an amazing tool. One, it can drive traffic to your website where you're actually selling the beats. You know, rappers always want to download a free beat that is untagged. You know what I mean? And that's the thing that a lot of producers and musicians don't think about when it comes to their music. They think you just put music online and people flock to it because people love music and they're always searching for it. No, that's not how it works. The whole game with content and music and TV and you know, any type of visual or audio information right now at the current climate, it's all about attention, right? So you make your content, but how do you point the attention to it? And that's the thing. Like, people don't realize that you know, they're looking, you know, they're the type of people who they can't figure out how somebody else is being more successful than them, so they just knock what they see that they do. So they're like, oh, Cash Money AP fucking gives away too many free beats, oh fuck that guy, I'm not giving out free beats because, you know, no, it's because you're a dick and you don't want to study any marketing. So when guys like that give away free beats, they're driving traffic to their site, they're grabbing attention, and you know, sites like BeatStars and shit like this have this already built into their system, right? So if you download, I could set my BeatStars right now that if you download a free beat from me, you have to either follow me on Twitter or subscribe to my YouTube, right? So like I haven't done that because I don't give free beats away online. I give free beats away in person. But you know, it's definitely something that I thought about. And if your goal is to be like a prolific online producer and have a following and have a subscriber base, you can start out by giving away free beats, and then in return, you know, it might be free in the sense that somebody doesn't have to pay for it, but you can ask for a subscription to your YouTube page, which is going to boost your numbers, and you can also make it an opt-in to where you get their email, right? And that's what this whole game is built off of, is email lists. Like this whole shit is fucking email marketing, in case you guys haven't figured it out yet, you know. So you're constantly, so if you've got it, so if you've got the emails and you can sort them, you take the emails of everybody who downloaded you know, your boom bap type beat, and then you got another email list of people who downloaded the trap beats. Now you can start target marketing. Oh, okay, new designer type beat uploaded, new Smoke Dizza type beat uploaded, and now now you're more focused with your emails. Now these people have gotten free beats from you, okay, and they're all like, yo man, they've played it for everybody. Maybe they performed it in their city, and they're like, yo, you and that producer work really well together. You should do some more stuff. Now they're in a position where they see the value in buying a lease from you. They don't see the value of buying a lease from you when you look like everybody else on BeatStars, you look like everybody else on Airbnb, you look like everybody else on YouTube. There's no value to that. All right, but you give a track to somebody, you allow them to create something untagged, you know, really express themselves, you know, use their vision, make it feel like it's their song, you know, all this shit about producers wanting to marginalize the artist and to step into the artist spotlight. Like, we don't do this shit for the spotlight. We do this shit to produce music. We do this shit to produce stars. We don't do it to be the stars. You know what I mean? Like, Twitter and Instagram got y'all fucked up. You know, everybody's not supposed to be famous. So there are clear cut benefits to giving away free beats in person and online. The people who scream this no free beat shit, they just don't understand the benefits, and that's really all it is. Because there is absolutely no benefit at all to just simply saying, I'm not going to give away free beats. You know why? Because you're hoping that everybody else is going to be like you, and then maybe one day if the producer community gets together and we all decide that we're not going to give away free beats, maybe then I can sell beats, because then I won't have to compete with people giving beats away for free and they're ruining the culture. That's not going to happen. So give away some fucking beats, build an email list, go to the studio, meet some cool people, give them some free beats, start building a network of artists who enjoy making music on your beats. And then once you get that, then you can begin charging. So it's a CMP with Craftmaster Productions, Studio1Tutorials.com. Y'all keep it simple, don't be basic, and we will see you on the next one.